Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Good to see everyone on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn. Welcome to Cruise Chat Live. I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor. And for about the next hour or so, we're going to be talking all things cruising and doing our absolute best to answer your questions. Oh my goodness, we got Eric, Sue, Peggy, Christy, Becky, CJ, and Rick are already tuned in over on YouTube. I see a bunch of folks are starting to come in on the TikTok side. Good to see everybody. I know it's been a couple of weeks. I was away at training for the week. But first, if you're new to the channel, I am Walter, your independent travel advisor. And as always, I am joined by my wife, Rebecca, who's sitting off camera. We are Where's Walter Travel. We book cruises, land tours, luxury, expedition, and our services are 100% free to you. We like to say our services are free and your memories are priceless. So if we can help you in any way, if you're watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, there are links in the description. And if you're watching on TikTok, just go into my profile. There are links in there to get in touch with us. You set up a call with us. We chat, and then Rebecca and I do our best to find the best possible vacation for you. And we're booking a lot of really super cool vacations of late. Let me tell you, river cruises, ocean cruises, and some amazing land tours. We've got an African safari booked. Oh my goodness, I just want to stow away in her trunk and go down to Africa. Hey, and if you can do us a favor too, if you could like what you're seeing on TikTok, YouTube, and everywhere else, that helps those channels to let you know that you like what we're doing, and to also share this out with other people. So I hope everybody's doing amazing. I was away this past week in Cleveland, the cruise capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio. We had a week of training at what I call the mothership, our home offices at KHM Travel Group, Where's Walter Travel is proudly a part of the KHM Travel Group. And thanks to that, we had an entire week with over 70 of our travel suppliers. I mean, it is absolutely invaluable to be one-on-one with those travel suppliers and to learn so much about travel suppliers that maybe I didn't consider, especially for pre and post cruise, for your flight packages, even for some new land tours that I did not know anything about. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, Kev Rock. Yes, I was in Cleveland for a week. That was my first time visiting Cleveland, and it was absolutely enjoyable. The one place I was hoping to visit was Ralphie's house, but we just didn't have the time. It was just wall-to-wall packed, meeting up with the suppliers.
The one place you were hoping to visit?
Yes, I'll be back up in Cleveland.
No. There was another place you were hoping to visit.
Oh, yeah, Melt. Yeah, I was hoping to visit Melt, grilled cheese, which apparently most of them have closed, but I guess there's one still in Akron. But yeah, Melt, I was really hoping to visit. Hey, Mary. Hey, Betty. Hey, everybody joining in. Good to see you all. Kev Rock, are you asking about American Cruise Lines? They are an amazing river cruise line here in the U.S., actually river and coastal, because they have some amazing coastal cats out on the East Coast, the South, the West Coast, and even up to Alaska. They are American based only. They do not even go to Canada. If you want to go up to Canada, they have, what is it called? Prestige, I think it's called. Their sister brand up there. Hey, Scott, controversial.
I thought it was Pearl.
Huh? Pearl. It's called Pearl. That's what it is. Scott from Controversial Cruising. How are you, my friend? Hey, have you considered coming on our Margaritaville group cruise? It would be so much fun to see you back on that ship. That would be absolutely amazing. And I'll just throw that up there since we're talking about it, since I started talking about it. But we have some amazing rates on the Margaritaville Islander. If you've been curious about this line, this is the cruise line that I said I would never book anybody on because of the original Paradise and how that ship was launched. However, this is a whole new Margaritaville. They are planning a whole fleet of ships now. And the Margaritaville Islander is a Carnival Spirit class size. She's the former Costa Atlantica, and Margaritaville did an amazing job. I do mean an amazing job with this ship. So we're taking a whole group on there. We may have up to 150 cabins of folks on there. And I can tell you the cabins are going very, very quickly. Our rates are really good. We have prepaid gratuities in the package. So if you want to go on a Valentine's cruise, and especially, you don't even have to be dating anybody, but if you want to partake, we have included a vow renewal with the captain, which is typically an added cost, and sometimes it can be a rather significant cost to have the captain do a vow renewal. Plus, we are working with Venture Ashore and Margaritaville at Sea to see if we can't put together a Jimmy Buffett history tour in Key West. That'll be an optional tour if you want to join in. So yes, it would be great to see you. Benny's here. Kurt is here. Scott, you're going to be on the Magic. That's perfectly fine. And I'll throw this up there as well. We're kind of getting close to the end of our Oceania Riviera Alaska group cabins. At some point in the somewhat near future, I would guess by August, September, probably. They might let us go to October. But our group pricing, which is up to $1,000 off the current published price, plus we have $1,200 of amenities. If you want to go to Alaska, you want to go on a small ship, and you're available in June of 2025, we're going to be on the Oceania Riviera, very, very small ship, 1,200 passengers. We've got a nice group of folks going up there right now. Oceania has become one of our go-to lines now in Alaska. Yes, we're still selling a lot of Princess. We're still selling a lot of Holland America up in Alaska. But now Oceania, with their small ships, has become a really nice option as well. Kev Rock, where our meeting downtown. We were actually in a Holiday Inn. I don't know where. We were about 20 minutes from the airport. That I do remember. It's all kind of a blur. So what was really cool about being up there in Cleveland was just, first of all, there were over 200 agents. So it was always great to get, to hang out with our fellow tribe, because KHM is just one of the best companies I think I've ever worked with. So where's Walter Travel? We are independent travel agents, and we decided to align ourselves with KHM Travel Groups, over 5,000 travel agents. And what that does, that gives us that direct access to some of the best travel partners in the business. And I don't just mean Royal Caribbean. So Royal Caribbean, as an example, we've got Kathy. Kathy is the most energetic, most amazing person in the industry, who is one of the top people in sales and partnerships. And she picks up the phone. Anytime I can call her. I've got Tamika over at Virgin Voyages, just simply one of the best people I know, just period. And so it's through KHM that we get these really, really strong relationships with these partners. And we've got some new partners. Like I said, I'm going to be presenting some new tour packages to my clients. I've got new pre and post cruise options for my clients. I've got new flight options for my clients. And I've got a cruise line that I've looked at, but I haven't really paid a lot of attention to them, Azamara. So Azamara just brought in Dondra Ritzenthaler as their CEO. And Dondra was one of the top people. I think she was the VP of sales over at Celebrity. And she's one of the people credited with helping that resurgence of the Celebrity brand. And now they brought her over to Azamara. And Azamara, we went on the Oceania Serena, and that is a sister ship to the 4 ships that Azamara has. So we're really intrigued on what they have to offer. They offer these really intensive voyages, like 14 days in Greece, and it's just Greece. We're not going to go Greece and Croatia, Italy, and all these other places. We're just going to do Greece. And they do things like that. Plus, they stay longer in port than just about any other cruise line. And they actually take their ships up the rivers to go to ports such as Bordeaux. So when you go to Bordeaux on most cruise lines, you're going to dock about 2 hours away and have to get on a 2-hour motor coach ride, but not Azamara. They literally take the ship right up the river, through the locks, under the bridges, and they have to open up the bridges, and they take the ship right into Bordeaux. So when you step off the ship, it's almost like a river cruise. You are stepping off into Bordeaux. So we're going to be talking a lot about Azamara in the coming months, and I'm looking forward to getting on one of their ships very soon. Alex said, I hope that a friend gave us some great hospitality in Northeast Ohio. Yes, at some point, Alex, it would be great to come down and visit where you are in Ohio. I got to say, Cleveland's a great little town. Hey, how many of you knew that Superman started in Cleveland, apparently? I didn't know that, but there was Superman waiting for me in the airport. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, so like I said, we now have, and I have new appreciation for some of the all-inclusive resorts that are out there. Maybe some all-inclusive that we didn't really look at in the past. Yes, we do sell all-inclusive. Yes, we sell land tours. Oh my God, golf. If anybody wants to play golf in Ireland or Scotland, oh my goodness. Yes, we can put you on pretty much any course you want to play over there. I've always thought that would be pretty amazing to go golfing over in Ireland or Scotland. Yeah, hey, have a good day, Kev Rock. Thanks for popping in. Another thing I'm going to talk about real quick is Norwegian Aqua, the brand new Norwegian Aqua. That's going to be the next. That's going to be the first Prima Plus class ship. She's coming out in 2025. We have a group. We have 5 cabins left. Our balconies are almost $1,000, maybe more than $1,000 off the current public price. We've got 3 balconies and 2 interiors left. That's it. That's all I've got left in my group. We have sold this one. We've sold a bunch of cabins on this one. But if you'd like to come join us, it's going to be May 31st through June 7th out of Port Canaveral. There's going to be the brand new Norwegian Aqua with the new Aqua Slide coaster up on the top. Just reach out, where'swaltertravel.com, or click the links in the description, or on TikTok, just go into my bio there. Travel the world. What's my take on river cruises? My take is yes. Take as many as you want. They are so the big difference between a river cruise and an ocean cruise. Well, there's 2 big differences. Obviously, the ship. The ship is only going to hold 100, maybe 150 people. That's it. Some ships hold less than 100 people. So that's the big adjustment, right? You don't have all the top deck activities. You don't have multiple lounges or a big theater you can go to at night. It's a very intimate experience. You really get to know your fellow cruisers really well. The other big thing about river cruising is that when you go to a town, or you go to a destination, you literally go to the destination. You step off the ship and you're right there. You know, wherever that destination happened to be, you are generally right there, or you are a very short ride away if it's a little bit more inland. So that is the big thing. Now, they do tend to cost more than, say, an ocean cruise, but everything is included. Just about. There's usually at least 1 excursion included in every port as well. So, and in fact, it's funny, I was going to bring up a river cruise, and Annie Jojo, I'll get to you in just a second. Uniworld, if you are a fan of river cruises, or you really want to try the ultimate river cruise, Uniworld is doing a Rivers of the World in 2026. I think they said it's their 50th anniversary in 2026. So Uniworld has some absolutely stunning ships, and they are doing a Rivers of the World river cruise, 50 nights over 4 or 5 legs, right? So you're gonna do a cruise. You're gonna get off that ship. You're gonna get on another ship. You're gonna do a cruise. You're gonna do the Netherlands. The second leg is a mystery. They're not gonna tell you what it is until you get off the first ship. I think that's a lot of fun. You'll go to France. You'll go to Egypt and Jordan. So I'm going to guess that mystery one's probably going to include some of Germany and things like that. But it's 50 total nights on Uniworld river cruises for 2026. It's going to be sailing in April of 2026. They're only doing it one time. So if you have any interest in like a crazy river cruise, just reach out. That again, that's going to be Uniworld in April 26, 50 nights. That is going to be absolutely amazing. Hey, Rebecca, do you hear good? Does everybody hear good sound on TikTok? So, are you guys just hearing a buzzing there? Really? I don't know why. Let me see. Oh, I can see that. Yes, I can see there's a buzzing sound. Hold on, everybody. Let me just reset. I don't know what's going on. Stand by on TikTok.
Oh, yeah. It's a high-pitched whine.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix it. Hold on a moment, folks. Hold on, all y'all over there on TikTok or on YouTube, just stand by for a moment because we seem to be having an issue with our microphone. Yeah, stand by due to technical difficulties. What's interesting, I can't even get this thing to turn off. Rebecca, would you mind going in the other room and get the little case that this thing goes in? So I know you guys can. Yeah, I know it's off. and you're hearing me through the phone microphone right now. So I'm going to see if I can't fix my little receiver. This is what was causing all the issues with you guys. So we'll see if we can't fix that. So hold on though. Jojo asked me a question.
I don't know.
Where I want to ask. Okay. Auntie Jojo asked where the Norwegian cruise is going. It's the case. It's that little square. Oh, actually, is it out here?
I don't know.
Is it out? Oh, I'm so sorry. It's right here. I couldn't see it behind the laptop. So Auntie Jojo was asking where is the Norwegian cruise going? So the Norwegian cruise, Norwegian Aqua, is going to sailing from Port Canaveral. We're going to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, Tortola, Great Stirrup Key. So you're going to have 4 port stops. No, I can't get it to stop. That is very interesting. I don't know what is causing that, to be honest with you. All right, so you folks on TikTok, you're going to get a different kind of sound today because we can't get the receiver to stop working. So sorry about that, guys.
Which one is that?
So yeah, so your microphone's going to be dead over there.
Which one?
That one.
This
the
one?
one in your right hand is going to be dead. So, all right, we'll pop this out of the way and we'll turn that off. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Those of you on TikTok are just going to hear me in a different way today. Sorry about that.
You're not going to hear me at all.
You can always switch over to YouTube if you want to hear everything. So, but I hope that's better now. So sorry, guys. We'll work on that and see if we can't get that fixed. But yeah, so you can switch over to YouTube if you'd like, if you want to hear Rebecca as well. So sorry about that, guys. So where were we before I interrupted myself there?
This cruise?
Huh?
Where this cruise was going?
Oh yeah. So Norwegian Cruise Line or Norwegian Aqua that is going to once again. We're going to sail from Puerto Plata. We're going to go to, or actually, we're going to sail from Port Canaveral. We'll go to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, Tortola, and Great Stirrup Key. If you guys have not heard yet, Norwegian Jewel is going to be sailing out of Philadelphia starting in April of 26. Stand by for some really interesting news on that one. We're going to have an exciting announcement about the Norwegian Jewel sailing out of Philly. Yo, Adrian, we're going to sail out of Philly. It's going to be so much fun. So stay tuned for that. I can't say anything yet. Consider that a teaser. Take that for what you will. But we've got a really, it's going to be a really interesting, it's going to be a really interesting announcement. I cannot wait. So Eric is saying that Aqua will be the best group cruise. It will be because Eric is going to be there. If you guys want to come meet Eric is one of our absolutely amazing clients. In fact, I owe Eric an email because he asked about a hotel and I haven't sent him the updated pricing. And I will, Eric. That's probably why you're here. You're reminding me, right? But I think what's really cool about our group cruises, first of all, they are not wall-to-wall activities. I've seen some of these group cruises where like literally every day, okay, we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing that, we're going to be doing. We just want you guys to enjoy the ship. We'll have a couple of group activities we'll have a meet and greet when you guys come on board. We might have a couple of activities during the cruise, and then we might have an optional paid excursion. Come join us. But our group cruises are more about letting you guys, just bringing a group of fellow travelers together and let you guys enjoy the ship together and enjoy the time together. That was so awesome when we were on the Valiant Lady last year for Thanksgiving, just seeing everybody come together. There were so many people who had never been on Virgin Voyages. Of course, they had never met each other, and just to see all these friendships born. And I know some of the folks are now cruising together, which is fantastic. And that's what our group cruises are all about, really. It's just bringing you guys together, letting you guys experience the ship. There will be some scheduled activities, but for the most part, we're going to let you guys just get out there and enjoy, get to know each other, and go have fun together. So again, we've got the Margaritaville Islander sailing February 11th in 2025. We've got the Oceania Riviera sailing Alaska June 26th, 2025. And then we've got the Norwegian Aqua sailing May 31st, 2025. Stay tuned for 2026 sailing out of Philadelphia. That's going to be fun. We've actually not been on the smaller Norwegian ships yet. So we will be on the Norwegian Jewel. And she just got a $100 million makeover, just like her friend, the Spirit, just got a $100 million makeover. So that should be absolutely amazing. And of course, we're going to be sailing out of Philadelphia, the very first cruise line to sail out of Philadelphia, as far as I know. So that's going to be really, really cool. I'm glad they're starting to open up some more ports. We've kind of had the Florida, New York, Texas, LA thing going for a while. So it's nice to see that coming along. Hey, Matt wants to know, when will Royal Caribbean release Alaska 2026? Now, Princess just did. So Princess just released Alaska 2026. You can book right now. If you have previously sailed on Princess, and not just book, but have actually sailed, you can book right now in a pre-sale for 2026. That tends to force everybody else's hand.
Well, Princess is usually the first.
Yeah, Princess is usually first. And then Holland America, I know Holland America is going to be coming out very soon, probably within the next 2 weeks. Holland America is going to drop 2026. It kind of starts a domino effect. It's a balance between selling 2025 because they want to continue to sell 2025, but then going ahead and releasing 26. As
I recall, it took Royal a long time to come out with 2025.
Last year, Royal was quite late. I want to say it was like around October that Royal finally released. Because I remember that because I had a group of 8 cabins that were waiting for 2025 to come out, and we got them. So I'm gonna guess probably September, October, but you never know. Once cruise lines start releasing things, it kind of causes that domino effect, and other people start releasing them. So yeah. Calvin, MSC was terrible. The Seashore was terrible. So the thing about MSC is they're very inconsistent right now. And that's the thing that's really holding back MSC. Their ships are beautiful. The pools are amazing. The cabins tend to be slightly larger than similar categories on other cruise lines. It's just you never know what the service is going to be like and what the food is going to be like. It's incredibly inconsistent. When you go on Royal Caribbean, you go on Princess, you go on Celebrity, you go on Carnival, you kind of have an expectation, the service is going to be kind of like this and the food is going to be kind of like this. And you kind of know. With MSC, you just really don't know what you're going to get. And I hope at some point they get somebody in there. You just never know what you're going to get. So,
and also the sailing as a regular passenger
is totally different.
Is very, very different than sailing as Yacht
MSC
Club.
Yacht Club. Yeah. MSC Yacht Club is different. And MSC is not Royal Caribbean at all. So if you're used to Royal Caribbean and you were expecting something like Royal Caribbean, then I would have told you not to sail on MSC. MSC is its own animal. And you have to set your expectations based on MSC. You cannot set your expectations based on Norwegian, Royal, or anybody else. Otherwise, you will be disappointed when you go on MSC. And that's a big thing that we talk to our clients about. You can't argue with the price. The price is amazing on MSC, but you have to set your expectations accordingly. And if you don't, you're going to be very disappointed with MSC. Gemma, you did the Alaska cruise with Celebrity last July, and it was awesome. And Matt did Princess last year. He wants to go to. So Celebrity, one thing about Celebrity, and that's another case of, going to the training and meeting up. Barbara was there from Celebrity, and it was awesome to have a chance to chat with her. But Celebrity, I never really took a deep dive into their cruise tours, and their cruise tours are absolutely beautiful. They have some amazing resorts that they stay in. Princess has the 5 resorts, so we always lean into Princess with a cruise tour because of their resorts are just so amazing. But Celebrity actually has some really beautiful resorts that they contract with for the cruise tour. So now I'm starting to look at Celebrity a little bit more for the cruise tours in addition to the cruises. Now, when it comes to Alaska, I do still like the smaller ships. The big thing that Princess announced, quite the surprise, the Star Princess is going to be going to Alaska. That's going to be their brand new ship. They're going to send her up there. She's the largest ship in the fleet next to the sun. And that is a big, big ship to be going to Alaska. So I guess
she will be the biggest ship in Alaska.
Will she? Yep. Bigger than Quantum class?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Because Quantum class carried about 5,000 people.
No. No.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay.
Well, Rebecca's going to do the research, but I would think I would think that Quantum class ship holds more people than the Princess, and the Breakaway class from Norwegian would be interesting. Well, Princess does hold 4,300, so that's kind of a surprise to me. So while the Star is going to be a beautiful ship, it honestly would not be my first choice in Alaska. I tend to lean towards the smaller ship because I think you get a better experience, especially trying to get on and off at the Alaska ports. But like the Celebrity, I don't know what's up there, Celebrity Summit maybe, or the Constellation. It's the one that's up there. They also have the Edge class ships up there, and I do believe they have at least one of the Solstice class ships up there. So Celebrity is a beautiful cruise line. Really, really pleasant. Star quality.
Well, double occupancy Quantum of the Seas is 4,180. So I think technically Princess is more.
Yeah, but I bet at full occupancy the Quantum would be higher. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Star quality, you went on Royalish first class, now going Holland for a themed cruise, feel like it's a step down. They're different. They're completely different. In some ways, it's going to be a step up because depending on, the dining team on there during that time, you may find that like the buffet and the main dining room are a step up from Royal Caribbean. So it would just all depend, but it's just a completely different experience. I mean, Holland America is a more traditional way of cruising. They have lovely live music venues in the evening. They've got, depending on the ship you're going on, they may have the Rolling Stone Rock Club, the Billboard Club. They don't do Lincoln Center anymore, the BB King Blues Club. So they have some really beautiful evening entertainment. It's just a different style of cruising. I mean, the crew is going to be more proper European style service. So I don't see it as a step down at all. It's just a different cruise. And that's what's beautiful about cruising. We have so many different ships, so many different styles of cruising, that there is a ship out there for everybody. And I don't know what itinerary you're going on. But if it's a theme cruise, obviously you're going to be with a bunch of folks that are into the same thing. So that'll just make it a lot of fun all by itself.
And there's bound to be way less children.
Yeah, way less children, that's for sure. Gemma said that was your first cruise up. Wow, your first cruise was Alaska. Way to go. You booked another in Australia this year. I'll tell you, man, Australia has been climbing on our list of where we're booking people. And we've got folks who are looking for longer stays in Australia because, it takes a while to get down there. So we're looking at combining, in some cases, combining a land tour with a cruise, or doing like back-to-back cruises that are not the same thing. Like maybe the first cruise is heavy on New Zealand and the second cruise is heavy on Australia. I mentioned Azamara earlier. Azamara has some amazing cruises that circumnavigate all of Australia. So yeah, Australia has been coming on strong. Let me get over here to the other crowd over here. Aaron is saying that if MSC came to the West Coast, you might give them a try. Just read that there is high demand out here in the West. Yes. Royal Caribbean is sending a Quantum class ship over to LA now to be quasi-permanently based in LA. So yes, LA is coming on strong. Of course, Virgin is sending the Brilliant Lady over there for a couple of short cruises before she goes up to Seattle. We don't know what she's going to do after the Alaska season. Will she come back to LA and stay there for a while? But there is a growing demand for cruises out of the West Coast, for sure.
And MSC is getting closer. They're going to go to Galveston.
Yeah, they're going to
Galveston. They're getting closer.
So do not be surprised if MSC brings a ship out to the West Coast at some point in the somewhat near future. I would not be surprised at all. They're building so many ships. And Star Quality, you're going on the New Amsterdam. That's a great ship. We went on there. One tip I will give you is that what's the name of the restaurant that we love?
Tamarind.
Tamarind. If you are a fan of Asian food, Tamarind, to me, is one of the best restaurants at sea. Had a lovely meal there. And New Amsterdam is all New York theme. It's a classic New York theme. So it's a lovely ship. We went on that. We did a good time. Clipper Loyalty, have we done a Mediterranean cruise with Greece before? How was it? We personally have not been on there yet. We've sent so many clients to Greece. We're working on it. We're working on getting over to the Mediterranean and going. One thing about Greece, if you're looking at Greece and you're really interested in just Greece, you don't want to get too much going off into Italy, Croatia, maybe some of the other ports. Celestial is a lovely family-owned cruise line right there in Greece. And then you look at the Azamara, look at Oceania, especially Azamara has Greek intensive. Oceania, some of the luxury lines are more intensive just staying in Greece. Plus, we have some incredible land tours, 7 and 10-day land tours, adult only, all inclusive, 20 people or less. So sometimes, it's not a cruise. That's the best option for what you really want to do. Sometimes it's a land tour. And, we're sending people over there on land tours as well. And especially that one, especially people who are adults, they don't want any children hanging out on the tours. No offense against children, but yeah, so we have not been there yet, but we have sent a lot of people over to Greece. So Alex wants to know if I have any thoughts on Carnival's new ship. Do I think they will be more like traditional Carnival ships or the Carnival Costa combo? I expect them to be Carnival ships. I mean, those are the ships that are going to hold up to 8,000 people, fully loaded. So while gross tonnage wise, they will be smaller than the Icon. Capacity wise, they're actually going to exceed the Icon. The Icon, I think, topped out at 7,700, right around there. So these ships will be capable of carrying more people, which means, to me, smaller cabins, people, really crammed into them. We don't know. We just know that they're going to be bigger than the XL class. The XL class comes in around 185,000 gross tons. I think these are coming in around 220,000 gross tons. We just don't know. Yeah, they will be Carnival ships. They won't be. I would be shocked if they come out and be the Costa Italian Fun style Carnival, Italian Fun Carnival, Italian style Carnival Fun. That's it. I knew I'd get it eventually. But I expect them to be traditional Carnival ships with the latest and greatest. I fully expect at least one XL class or one of these, or maybe both, are going to do the 3-4 to compete with Utopia of the Seas, Disney Wish, and even Allure of the Seas. The big ships that are doing the 3-4s, because right now Carnival has older ships doing the 3-4s. And I think that was a great idea by Royal Caribbean to say, hey, look, here's the best of the best. I know some people are saying, well, why don't they put it on a 7-night cruise? Because you've got like 6 other Oasis class ships that are doing 7-night cruises. So this is what the idea is. People who just don't have the time, but they still want to have like the best of everything. And 2 people who are maybe on their first cruise, they're not sure if they're going to like it. Let's show them the best of everything on this first one. So I fully expect either a Carnival XL class or one of these new ships will be doing a 3-4. We just have to wait and see until they come out. So Becky loves the Coral Princess in Alaska. Coral Princess and Island Princess are 2 of Princess's smallest ships. We've been on the Island Princess, absolutely loved it. Richard, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks so much for joining in. Love it. James McFeely. Oh, Rick. Oh, well, the entertainment is so subjective on cruise lines. He's saying that he didn't really like the entertainment on Holland, so he switched over to Celebrity. I'll tell you that on the Celebrity Solstice class, we are not fans at all of the theater shows. If they're the same theater shows that we saw prior to the pandemic, we would sit at the very back of the theater, and usually within 5 minutes we're walking out because it's just But the live entertainment throughout the ship was really good. So entertainment is so subjective. It really is. Hold on just a moment. Oh, man. Need my tea. James, how are you, man? Good Sunday morning. Did I hear anything about Royal Caribbean allowing kids in the solarium? That is usually when the weather is bad. Usually.
Yes. That is some cold weather itineraries.
Some cold weather.
And when the weather is bad.
Yes.
But they just raised the age to 18 from 16. So I'd be surprised if it was like an across the board. I don't think it's an across the board
It's not going to be an across the board thing unless they've totally changed the rules. But
they haven't, as far as I can tell.
In a cold itinerary, Alaska, Greenland, Iceland, or if the weather is really bad outside and the kids can't get to the main pools, they will sometimes relax the rules and allow the kids into the solarium. Yes, I have seen that. I think we've even seen that on Celebrity when there's like really bad weather. Sometimes they let the kids into the solarium. The solarium is 16 and over on Celebrity. So any cruise ship that has an adult area pool, especially one that's inside, if the weather is bad or it's especially cold, sometimes they will relax the rules to let the kids in. And Frank is saying on the YouTube side that they did that for Alaska. They let the kids into the warmer pools. I say let them freeze. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's a nice thing to do because, the kids need to burn off some energy. And if they can't go out there, then you just have to do that. Good morning, Chris. Hey, Mike, how are you? Frank wants to know, is Utopia only going to be doing weekend trips or will there be 7+ day cruises? As of right now, Frank, it is the world's biggest weekend. It is only doing 4 nights during the week and 3 nights on the weekend. So if you want to sail 7 nights on Utopia, you will be booking a back-to-back, like my good friend Tony just did. Tony over at La Lita Loca, I think he's just getting off the ship, or he's been off the ship now for a few days. But he did a 7-night cruise on Utopia by booking the back-to-back. Now, here's the interesting thing about it. So sometimes that 4-night cruise, because it is like Monday through Friday, can be the same price, if not cheaper, than the weekend cruise.
Very often.
Yeah. So, if you're looking to go on Utopia and you can go during the week, very often you're either going to pay the same price or less than the weekend cruise on Utopia. So that is something for you guys to consider. Now, if you want a 1-week cruise, well, then I would recommend the Icon or the Wonder. So the Wonder is the latest and greatest Oasis class ship before the Utopia. And of course, the Icon is the latest and greatest. The only thing you won't have on there is the that railway dinner. But so if you're looking for that 1-week Utopia experience, then probably the Icon would be the way to go for that. Richard, hey man, good to see you. You just booked a Margaritaville Sea Islander for Valentine's Day with us. He's coming with us. Great deal. Absolutely fabulous deal. They're looking forward to the trip. Thanks for helping. Hey, thank you, Richard, for reaching out to us. Again, February 11th through the 17th, 2025, we have ridiculous rates on this. It's a 7-night cruise. And the prepaid gratuities are in there. I was just looking at it the other day, and our breezy balcony with the prepaid gratuities, I think it's coming out about $300 less than what it is on the public site, around there. So, I mean, you can save $300 to come on our cruise. Plus, if you would like to participate, we're doing a vow renewal with the captain, and that is an added charge. Sometimes a significant added charge. If you would like to do that, we've negotiated with Margaritaville. It's included with the cruise. So you get prepaid gratuities, you get a lower rate. And if you would like to partake, you don't even have to be married. You can just kind of come out and do that. Just come out and join us on the Margaritaville Islander. This is a fun ship. It's actually going to be the very first 6-night sailing for this cruise. So we're going to Progreso, Key West, and Cozumel. How about that? James said I have to get some Barry's Irish tea. I'm drinking Yogi or Yoga? Yogi, and I'm drinking something called Positive Energy. It is incredibly tasty. So anybody who likes tea, it's like a tangerine, orange, and spices. Oh my gosh, it is so freaking good. Gemma, do I only book holidays departing in America as you are in Scotland? So there's this thing called cross-border rules that prevent us.
There's 2 different issues here. Where the person is from and where the cruise is from. You'll book cruises from anywhere.
Oh yeah. I can book. I can book a trip anywhere in the world. Okay, anywhere you want to go in the world. However, the guests that I can actually book and service are North America and the Caribbean due to these things called cross-border rules, except for a few travel partners. Like Virgin Voyages allows us to book anywhere from anyone from anywhere in the world. I can even book in 6 local currencies with Virgin Voyages. So they are one of the exceptions. And some of our land partners will allow us to do that as well. But for the most part, we are restricted. Now, you're in Scotland. If you'd like, drop me a note either in TikTok or send me an email. I've got a fabulous agent in London that I can connect you with, Kieran. Kieran is just fantastic. We don't have a partnership or anything. It's just when somebody from Europe contacts me, I send them to Kieran. And when somebody from the States contacts him, he sends them to me. We just like each other. Really, really nice guy. And he can probably book you if I can't. Like I said, if you want to go on Virgin Voyages, I can do it. But I know, like, if you're talking about celebrity, I can't book you from overseas just because of the rules that they have. It's kind of silly, with this international world that we have. Here in the United States, here in North America, I have clients in Canada. I have clients on the West Coast. I have clients down in St. Thomas, believe it or not. So I can do, I can book a lot of people all over the place, but there are just certain countries that suppliers are like, nope, you can't do it. So I don't want to run afoul of doing that. So yeah. Whoops. Aaron. Fascinating hypnotist show on Celebrity Reflection a few weeks ago. You notice the solarium age rules were enforced. They are totally enforced when the weather is good. When the weather gets bad, sometimes they will allow children to go in there. So absolutely. Alex is asking about the live stream on Thursday night. We're going to have Whitney is coming from Holland America, and we are going to be talking Alaska. So Holland America, if you're looking at Alaska and you're looking at a land tour, Holland America does have one exclusive destination, and that is the Yukon. They go to Dalton. Nobody else goes there. It requires a flight to get over there. And they have, I think, between 1 and 2 nights in Dalton in the Yukon. So maybe you've been to Alaska before. Maybe you've done the cruise tour before. Holland America does have a truly unique cruise tour with Dalton. I don't know of anybody else who takes you over there to the Yukon, but Whitney just showed us some really cool stuff that she did over there. And I'm going to ask her to actually send me her video so we can show you her video from the Yukon. It was really, really cool. So if you're around Thursday night, we'll be on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn with Whitney from Holland America. She's amazing. I'll put that up right after the show. Rick, you're interested in Ireland castle tours that included air, rental car, company no longer booked. Oh, we can totally set you up with that. We have a ton of self-drive tours and even luxury self-drive tours where like it'll be a Range Rover or a Mercedes or something like that. But yeah, we have a bunch of those, Rick. So yeah, if you want to reach out, I have off the top of my head, I've got like 3 or 4 suppliers I'm thinking of right now, including a new one that I didn't know about until last week. Again, last week, I was in a full week of training up in Cleveland, Ohio with our host agency, KHM Travel Group, with over 70 travel suppliers that I got to meet, that I got to hang with, that I got to learn about, including we have one tour partner actually owns a castle and a couple of manors. They actually own them. The tour partner does. So that's actually kind of cool. So yeah, Rick, if you want to reach out, set up a time. You're watching me on TikTok. If you click my logo, there's going to be a link tree. The very first link is going to say contact us. Plus, in my profile, there's even a button there that says email me. So drop me an email. We'll set up a time to chat, and you can tell me exactly what you're looking for. I'll be happy to help you out. Yeah. And just like everything else, our services are 100% free to you. You don't pay for our services. We're just happy to help. Going on Verizon out of Baltimore. Vision. Oh, the Vision. Yes, boy, I love autocorrect. Don't you? So you're going out of Baltimore. I'm so glad that we're sailing out of Baltimore again. You know, it is, while that was a tragedy, and of course, you know, our hearts always go out to those who were lost. It is a little bit of an opportunity for Baltimore to maybe raise the height of that particular bridge, or maybe make a center section that goes up to potentially allow larger ships. Now, they would have to do the Chesapeake Bay Bridge as well. They'd have to do something with that. But if they created that opportunity with the Francis Scott Key Bridge, they have the potential to then go out to the Chesapeake Bay Bridge and, at least maybe raise a section. You could get some larger ships in there. But the Vision is a lovely ship. We saw the grandeur of the seas when we were on the Margaritaville Islander, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful ship. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody here. Okay. Not why. I'm not sure what the comment is about eating margaritas, but
I think we're talking Margaritaville as a cruise line. There's two things I would say. One, you can't judge Margaritaville by the company that previously owned and operated those ships, which is Bahamas Paradise. They are no longer in existence.
Nope. No.
Two, you cannot judge the Islander by the Paradise.
Nope.
Two completely different ships, two completely different experiences.
Yeah, so the Margaritaville Islander is a brand. Margaritaville Islander is the first ship that was completely redone by Margaritaville. They sent her in for 5 months of renovations. They're still tweaking things right now. Things are still not absolutely perfect. They're still working on it to make everything absolutely perfect on that ship. I know they've got their eyes on another ship already, and they are planning a whole fleet of ships. So the Margaritaville Paradise is the one that sails out of West Palm. That is the very small ship, currently doing 2-night itineraries. She's going to be doing 4-night itineraries very soon. That is his own animal, and Margaritaville is very unapologetic about that ship because that ship has its fans. They really don't plan to do a whole lot more with that ship other than, maintenance, upkeep, things like that.
Although they did do some work on it once they took over from Bahamas Paradise.
So they did a quick renovation on her when they took her over, but they're not planning to do a whole lot more. But the Margaritaville Islander, that is the new Margaritaville at sea, and expect to see more ships coming. Expect to see expanded itineraries. Certainly expect them to go into the Panama Canal, because those ships can go through, and who knows, you might see Margaritaville out on the West Coast at some point. Aaron mentioned that LA is cruise hungry, so you never know.
And I will say it's certainly not for everybody.
It's not, but it's a lot of fun.
It's affordable. And I was looking at a Margaritaville resort, and there's a lot of touches from the resorts that are in the cruise ship cabins.
Yes.
You can see.
Yes. Yeah. So it truly is Margaritaville at sea. Islander truly does bring that Margaritaville vibe to sea, whereas the Paradise didn't when it first launched. It's better, but it's still not. If you really want to go to Margaritaville at sea, then you go on the Islander. It's going to be amazing, but it's still not for everybody. It's a fun ship. It's not a perfect ship. Now they do have 13 bars and lounges. Each one makes their own margarita, so that's truly awesome. But Aaron wants to know, when is Virgin Voyages going to release the Alaska itineraries? Thought it was going to be this month. We don't know. Here's the deal. Virgin Voyages is the newest cruise line to go up there. They have zero history in Alaska. They have zero connections in Alaska. Alaska has over 60 ships during the season, and you've got Princess and Holland. They own Alaska, right? They got all the best ports, they've got all the best slip, they've got the best time, they got the best everything, because Holland's been going there over 75 years. Princess has been going there over 50 years. So Carnival as a company more or less owns Alaska. In fact, Carnival Corporation owns the train in Skagway. Did you know that? So I believe that Virgin is finding it a little bit harder than they expected to set up in Alaska, because they've got to get the port time. They've got to get the slip time. They may be tendering more than just about anybody else. They have to go on an off schedule. So I would suspect that those cruises are not going to start on the weekend, for example, like they might start on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, just so they can get the timing to where they want to go. I do fully expect that there will be 7 nights, and there will be some longer itineraries as well. but they're not ready. They're not ready to tell us anything. I know they were hoping to release the schedules in August. Now, at this time, we simply do not know. They've given us no hints whatsoever. But my guess is they're having a little bit of a harder time. The only reason they're going to Alaska is because they put out a poll to their sailors. And one of the questions was, where do we not go right now that you'd like us to go? And Alaska was the overwhelming favorite. I'm going to be fully transparent and honest with you guys. I don't know how their experience is going to be. Are they, just because they're Virgin Voyages, will them? I'm still going to be leaning towards the cruise lines that have been going there for a long time and have really good connection. So that's the other thing too. You know, Virgin has to make the connections with all the land partners to get the tours. Are there any tours available that they can even do, because everybody else is coming in? You know, Alaska is getting very crowded, and that's why you're seeing, you know, Juneau, Skagway, Sitka, they're all pushing back, just like Bar Harbor, Maine did, just like they're doing over in Europe. So I think it's getting harder for them to bring. Now their ship is 2,700 passengers, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to bring in a brand new cruise line that has no history in Alaska. That's going to be tough. That's going to be very tough. So I think that's why Virgin Voyages is completely silent. They've sent us a couple of questionnaires. I am still a top 100 Virgin Voyages agent in North America. So the top 100, we do get some questionnaires from them, and they have asked us some questions about Alaska. You know, what do you think of itinerary length? What days of the week it would be okay to start, and things like that. But that's it. They have not given us any indication of when those schedules are going to be released. And I think it's going to be rather interesting when they finally do come out. I love Virgin Voyages. I think they are a fabulous cruise line. I think anybody who enjoys cruising should go on them, give them a chance.
As long as they're over 18.
Think, what's that?
As long as they're over 18.
Yeah, as long as you're over 18, you can go on the ship. But there is a lot of misconceptions and a lot of myths about Virgin Voyages being the party ship, being, you know, overly loud and rambunctious, but it's not. It's actually a very chill ship for most of the time. Scarlet Night is absolutely insane, and it's the most amazing party you've ever seen us see. But it's just one night. The rest of it is really good. But Alaska, I will be very honest, they're certainly not going to be at the top of my list to send you up to Alaska. It's still going to be Princess, Holland, Celebrity, Oceania. But we'll see. We'll see what itineraries they come up with. It's going to be very interesting. Pretty TK, you got 10 more days to get on the Valiant Lady. Beautiful ship. Beautiful, beautiful ship. I'm looking forward. The Resilient Lady is coming in November. I'm looking forward to maybe getting an opportunity to run down there. I'm looking at, you know, maybe a short cruise or something. I know she's just going to come to Miami for a bit, and then she's going to go to San Juan. So I'm hoping maybe I can go slip down there and see it before it takes off. And Calvin, you got the Utopia on August 9th. Woo! Have an amazing time on there. I hope you get to do the train thing. That should be a lot of fun. So Richard wants to know, are there any good shore excursions in Progreso? So Progreso, Mexico is a pretty new port. I think it started last year, maybe the year before. So I honestly haven't investigated yet to see what's going on in Progreso, but I would suspect that a lot of what you have in Cozumel is also going to be there, because it's also in the Yucatan Peninsula. You know, as the cruise ships are saturating Western Caribbean and the Caribbean, more ports are starting to open up, because, you know, we need other places to go. Then, you know, there's not enough room in Cozumel. There's already 2 different ports in Cozumel. So I haven't really investigated the actual shore excursions yet. But, so CJ said that he went to the Chichen Itza. Man, I used to know how to say that because I did a documentary on Guatemala and all those their civilization. But I know that you can get to Chichen Itza from Cozumel. So it's going to be a very similar experience going into Progreso, which is kind of a neat thing, because, you know, on our Margaritaville cruise, we're going to Cozumel and we're going to Progreso. It kind of gives you 2 opportunities to maybe do things that that maybe, you know, you don't have time to do in Cozumel. You get 2 chances. Do one in Cozumel and you do one in Progreso. But it's probably going to be very similar because they're both in the Yucatan Peninsula. I guess I'll have to go ahead and take a look at that. I can tell you, you're on the Margaritaville cruise, so Margaritaville does have shore excursion. You can also look at Venture Assure. If you want to help support us, you can actually do it through our website. If you go to where'swaltertravel.com, you click on Shore Excursion. That will take you to our affiliate link, and you can book all of your shore excursions. Now, Venture Assure has a return to ship guarantee. If for whatever reason you miss the ship, you will be taken to their next port on their dime. And number two, they have a do not port, do not pay policy too. So if your ship can't come into port, you don't even have to contact them. They know the ship didn't come into port. You are automatically refunded. So it's basically exactly the same as booking through the cruise line, except you're going to save some money. So yeah, CJ says from Progresso, it saves you a ferry ride. It sure does. It's on the other side, right? Or something. I haven't even looked at the map, see where it is. Pretty TK, with third-party travel insurance, can a travel agent get you a better quote than you can on your own? No, we're going to get the exact same quotes. You know, we have the relationship. We have a relationship with Allianz. There's also Travel Insured that works with KHM, but the quotes should be exactly the same. They should be. The quotes are usually, travel insurance is usually about 10% the cost of the cruise, depending on the biggest thing that I found that affects the price is the state that you live in. So,
well, in your age.
Yeah, your age.
It was a lot cheaper when we were under 50.
Yeah, but even with your age, the state that you live in really affects the price, because every single state in the United States has different rules and regulations for insurance. Like I can tell you, if you live in Washington State, you're probably going to have the lowest cost travel insurance of just about any state in the United States. I don't know why. I don't know what the rules are that are different up there in Washington State, but you're going to have some of the lowest cost travel insurance up in Washington State. I don't know why. That's just the way it is. So yeah, so we, you know, and since you brought up travel insurance, you know, I am not a travel insurance expert by any means, and that's why we always recommend that you talk to the travel companies, travel insurance companies. But the primary difference between getting it through the cruise line and getting it through a third party is the medical coverage. Medical coverage tends to be much better for maybe a little bit more, maybe the same price, sometimes a little bit less than the cruise line. Cruise line insurance is typically heavily weighted towards giving you a discount or giving you a refund should you have to cancel the cruise. That's the big reason why you get cruise line travel insurance. So if you want better medical coverage, like something happened to you on the cruise, or you've got a pre-existing condition, then I would look more toward third party. Like I mentioned, we use Allianz Global or Allianz Travel. There is a great website called insuremytrip.com where you can research travel insurance options and do that. But generally, travel insurance is around 10% of the cost of your travel. Whatever your travel is, figure around 10%. It also depends on the level of coverage you get. The coverage, we typically recommend the classic plan to our clients, or send over the classic plan for their review. And that's usually about $50,000 in medical coverage for each person and up to $500,000 in medical evacuation. And that's a big one. That medical evacuation could, even flying up from Jamaica, is around a $40,000 to $50,000 medical evacuation flight if they need to fly you back up. Think about how close, you know, Jamaica is to the U.S. It's really not all that far in terms of a flight. Now think about if you were over in Europe, how much would that cost to do a medical evacuation flight back to, you know, the U.S. So yeah, annual insurance. So the main difference between getting a trip-based insurance policy and annual insurance is that the annual insurance is a bucket of money for the entire year. Now, most annual policies, the cool thing about an annual policy is it covers you for everything, not just a cruise. Most of them require you to go at least 100 miles from your house. But as long as you're 100 miles from your house, you could be in the car, you could be on a train, you could be in a plane. Any kind of travel that you're doing that takes you more than 100 miles from your house, with most travel insurance, you are covered. But the difference is that is a bucket of money. So I mentioned $50,000 in medical coverage. Instead of that being per trip, it's for the entire year. So let's say you get hurt and you file a $10,000 claim, you now have $40,000 for the rest of that policy. Same with the medical evacuation. You spend $100,000 to fly back from Europe. You now have $400,000 for the rest of the year to file a claim. Now, if any of those numbers should drop down to zero, you can just go ahead and renew and get another policy at that time. That's what I was told by Allianz. But that's a big difference between annual and individual. I did hear, I didn't quite catch the entire presentation, but I heard the folks at Travel Insured talking about how you can get an annual policy that's a little bit lower, and then you basically get a rider for a trip that might cost a lot more. So let's say you've got $5,000 in trip coverage on an annual policy. And that's the other thing too about an annual policy. You have to set your trip coverage amount. Usually it's $2,500, $5,000, $7,500, up to like $15,000. So you're covered for that much for an individual trip. The folks at Travel Insured said you can get an annual policy that's a little bit less, and then if you do like a river cruise, it's going to cost you $20,000. You can do a rider just for that trip. I just heard, I haven't looked into that right now. We have an annual policy with Allianz. That's what we decided to go with. What is our coverage limit? Do you remember?
I think for covering cost of trips, I think it's 5,000.
Okay, so I think our policy is 5,000, 5,000 each for trip coverage is what ours is. But annual policies can be good. You know, if you book at least 3 cruises a year, or you do 3 major pieces of travel a year, it might work out to get the annual policy versus getting one for every single trip. And again, if you have an annual policy, anytime you get in your car and you go 100 miles away from your house, you are covered under that travel insurance. So that's kind of cool too. Taz, how are you? Good morning. If you book through Carnival Direct, can I switch it to you as an agent, and what advantage is there to do so? I love that. Thank you so much for that question. First answer is yes, within a certain amount of time. Can't remember if Carnival is 15 days or 30 days. I think
they are 15.
It might be only 15 days. So like from the moment you book with Carnival, you've got 15 days to transfer it over. Some cruise lines allow you to do up to 60 days. So it's usually 30 days is the limit. And there's usually a form you have to fill out. Now with Carnival, you actually have to call the cruise line and tell them to switch. There's 2 advantages, 2 primary advantages to switching to us. One, well, maybe 3. But one, we try to add perks onto your booking where we can. Usually it's some onboard credit. So it might be, you know, it might be onboard credit. It might be a gift when you show up in your cabin. That's number 1. Number 2, you don't have to call Carnival anymore. You just have to talk with us. You've got a one-on-one relationship with us. We have a completely different agent support center that we call, that we can usually get through to. Plus, I have Bentley. If things really go sideways, or you're really trying to arrange something and we're not getting anywhere with Carnival support, I will call Bentley. Bentley is my one-on-one direct connect. I just had dinner with her a couple days ago up in Cleveland during my training. That is the biggest advantage to working with a travel agent, and a travel agent who has developed these relationships with the cruise line. Bentley is my direct one-on-one connection with Carnival. And if anything goes sideways, or I want to set up something special for my clients, I'm going to call Bentley, and Bentley is going to do her best to take care of it. We've had that situation. We've had a couple of situations that, look, I'm not getting the answers that we need. We need some help. I need you to step in. You need to clarify something, or we need to set something right that's just not right. And I work with them behind the scenes to try to set things right. Now, we can't work miracles. We can't get everything done. But that is the biggest thing about working with an independent travel advisor, that we are an advocate for you. We work on your behalf. And the other cool thing is we don't work for Carnival. We are an independent travel advisor. So sometimes you might come to me and say, look, I'm looking at the Carnival celebration, blah, 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 blah. And I might say, have you considered this or this? Usually we like to present you with 2 or 3 options, and maybe things that you didn't consider because you were just so laser focused. I know it's going to be this. I know it's going to be this. And then, you know, we might open up your eyes to something that for the same amount of money, or maybe just a little bit more, you're going to get a lot more value out of where you're going. So that's my quick speech with that. But Carnival, I believe, is only 15 days to transfer directly, and you've got to call Carnival. I have to give you some information, but you would have to call Carnival. So I appreciate you asking. But yes, the answer is pretty much any cruise line, you can transfer it over to an agent within a certain window. So Megan, I'm glad you learned a lot. That's great. Betty, has the Taste of San Juan been finalized for the group cruise? You're talking about the Sun Princess. I was just giving a little bit more time for folks to get back to me, but I think this week we'll probably be going ahead and ordering that cruise. So yeah, thank you for reminding me. CJ, another great question. The reason I tend to book myself is the casino rates. Can that be done through that can't be done through a travel agent, can it? The answer is yes, it can. We can book the casino rate for you. We have done it for clients in the past. Now, being very transparent to you, there is almost no incentive for a travel agent to do this because the commission can be, say, between $0 and $25. Not a whole lot of incentive for a travel agent to book a casino cruise, but we will do it for existing clients. If an existing client reaches out and says, hey, I've got a casino rate for this thing, yes, I can jump in and I can grab the casino rate because that casino rate shows up as part of your profile. So yes, we can grab it. We can book it. We don't advertise it. We don't really talk about it that much because, again, travel agents, especially like myself, I don't charge a planning fee. You know, if I charge a $200 planning fee, okay, then fine. That would cover that. But we don't charge a fee for our services. So with a casino rate, basically, the cruise line is just is giving that. So it might be like a $10 little thing. Here's $10 for booking that. And so that's why we don't tend to do that. But thank you for the question. That's fabulous. Let's see. Chris said they've done both direct and through Walter. I will go through Walter always right now. Oh, that is so kind of you, Chris. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Andy, good morning from California. Hello, California. Good to see you. And I hope Eric is still here. Eric is out in Las Vegas right now. I used to get that wrong. I used to say he was in California, but he's actually in Las Vegas. Pretty Team K, you're coming to Miami on the Brightline the night before. Can you include that in my insured cruise trip? Another great question about insurance. With independent travel insurance, you can pretty much cover your entire trip, no matter what it is. If you book through the cruise line, you are insuring the trip itself. If you add flights to it, I honestly don't know if the flights are included. I think they are.
It depends on the policy.
Depends on the policy. Yeah. So, but with independent travel insurance, that's all travel. You know, whatever happens, as long as we make a note of it in the insurance policy, and actually sometimes you don't even have to make a note of it because that's you getting there. But if your cruise is $2,500, we can go ahead and add another $500, another $1,000 onto the insurance coverage, so that takes care of anything else. But we do that regularly. We'll add the flights, we'll add the hotels, we'll add anything else that goes around the cruise itself. Or if they're doing a land tour, we'll add stuff around the land tour as well. There are some, there's some travel partners like Colette with Land Tour. It actually makes sense to get their insurance. Their insurance is really good. It takes care of everything. Viking has amazing insurance too. So we get the insurance straight through them. But when you get that independent travel insurance, then you can cover anything you want, anything at all.
I mean, it may be a slight, depending on how much more you need coverage, you may have to pay slightly more, but.
Right. So typically travel insurance is, it's a set amount. It's a set amount for a certain dollar amount. So like say from 1,000 to 3,000 is this much. From 3,000 to 5,000 is this much. So if we're only adding a couple $100 or we're adding $500 to your policy, it may not even change the price of your policy. And I can actually do that. I can modify when you book through Allianz and you book through my link. I can actually go in and modify that policy without even having to call Allianz. So. Andy, good question. How do I feel about Princess Cruises? Yes, I love Princess Cruises. They're great. We've been on 5 so far. We're going to be on 6. Oh, look at that. I have the Love Boat sitting right here. Here's the Love Boat. This is a scale model of what a Princess ship looks like. They look exactly like they're very squishy. But we've been on 5 Princess ships so far. We're going to be on the brand new Sun Princess in October. And what I like about Princess, I think they have some of the best. They have some of the best main dining room experiences and some of the best buffet experiences. If you're into the food, they tend to do it well. Like the Sky Princess, we were on her last year, and she was just absolutely freaking amazing with that. They have some of the best original shows. Like if you're a fan of Broadway shows, They have some of the best original Broadway style shows. I think they're very underrated. People don't talk about them enough, but they're really, really good. I love the new Good Spirits bar that they've come out with. So we've been on the Island Princess, which is their smallest ship, all the way up to the Sky Princess, which was their biggest ship until one of their biggest ships until the Sun came out. I think it's a great experience. It's and the Princess Plus and Princess Premier, those are the best paid add-on packages at sea, period. Because a lot of people equate that with a drinks package. It's actually about 10 items that are included, and including the gratuities. So the drink package, I think on Princess, if you just got the drink package, it's like $75 a day. If you get Princess Plus, it's $60 a day. That is your drink package, all drinks up to $15. It's Wi-Fi. It is the gratuities are included in there. It is 2 casual meals, which are $15 a piece. It is 2 premium desserts per day. It is unlimited juice bar for the entire cruise. It is Ocean Now delivery. The fee is waived for that. It's a $15 fee for your first delivery. That's waived. Ocean Now delivery is basically room service anywhere on the ship, and the room service delivery fees are waived as well. So it's like all of those things are included in the Plus, which is $60 a day, versus the drinks package alone is $75 a day or $72 a day.
And just to give an example, on Royal Caribbean, the drink package alone can cost you more than $60 a day.
Yeah, so on Royal Caribbean, a drinks package, lowest price is usually $65 a day. It goes up to over $100 a day. We've seen it. It's got
and that includes just the drink package.
So Princess is an outstanding cruise line, especially if you're going up to Alaska, but pretty much anywhere in the world. So, I mean, if you got questions about it, just reach out. Again, our services are free. Where's WalterTravel.com, or you're watching us on TikTok, just click our logo and go into the links and just get a hold of us. We would be more than happy to help out with that. Hey, Aaron, thanks for checking in. Have a good day, my friend. Thank you. Mike Smith, did I tell everybody about the Virgin Voyages Kids Cruise Free promotion? Actually, I've gotten a lot of calls about this. So Virgin did a very cheeky kids sail free promotion. I love that. It was hilarious. It's like, we've changed our mind, kids sail free. So the deal is a parent and their adult child in a single cabin, and the kid sails free. That's the deal. So it has to be a parent and a child in the same cabin. And was there an age limit on that?
Yes, it was, I think, 18 to 26,
so
I believe.
18 to 26-year-old. So if you got an 18 to 26-year-old child and you want to go travel with them, Virgin Voyages is doing the child free. You've got to be in the same cabin, and the child has to be between 18 and 26. So very clever. I think it's fun. I'd love, if you go back and you look at that original ad where they had the kids complaining that they couldn't go on the ship. I love that ad. It's so cute. Virgin does a lot of cheeky things. They do a lot of fun things. So yeah, I can't remember how long that promo is going to run, but right now, if you have a child that is between 18 and 26 years old and you just want to go take a cruise with them, you can do that, and the kid sails free. Of course, you're going to pay the port fees and taxes, but the kid sails free, so it's awesome. So, hey, Kathy, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Mike Smith, thinking about doing an Alaskan cruise next year. Do we have experience with the Alaskan options? Oh, my goodness. I have no idea how many cruises and cruise tours we have booked in Alaska, but we're kind of like Alaska experts now, sort of, kind of. We do have a group cruise going if you'd like to go. We have a 12 nights on the Oceana Riviera. It's a 1,200 passenger sailing vessel. And our prices are $1,000 off, or up to $1,000 off. And we've got $1,200 in group amenities, including prepaid gratuities and a drink package upgrade. It's almost an all-inclusive cruise because of everything Oceana offers. But beyond that, and that's in June 26th through July 8th of 2025. So if you'd like to join us on that, they're going to be closing our group sometime within the next couple of months. So would encourage you to come join us on that if you want to do something totally different. Holland America, those are 3 excellent cruise lines up in Alaska. Especially, Princess and Holland are going to get you into Glacier Bay on so many cruises if you want to do that. Then, of course, if you want to do the cruise tours, which is the land sea, you've got options up to 17 days. All the cruises are going to be 7 days, so that's a fixed amount of time. And then the length of your cruise tour depends on how long you want to be on land. It's usually 3 to 10 days on land. So that is the full experience. unless you're doing something like what we're doing, which is 12 days, that's going to give you a lot of time. And we have up to 15 hours in port, I believe, on some of our port stop. So you will have a lot of time to go out and experience things. Now, if you want to experience Denali National Park, you've got to do the land tour portion. Princess has their own lodges. Holland America has their own lodges. And Celebrity has really nice lodges. Now, Holland America has something unique, and they go to the Yukon. Nobody else goes to the Yukon that I know of because it requires a flight to get over there. So there is that. But yeah, if you want to talk about Alaska, reach out, Mike. We've got so many different options. And if you have sailed Princess before, you have to have sailed Princess, not just booked Princess, but actually sailed Princess. Alaska 26 is open right now, too, for anybody watching. But if you want to come with us to Alaska, Rebecca and I are going June 26th through July 8th on the Oceana Riviera, essentially an all-inclusive cruise, including $600 worth of shore excursion. They give you a credit, and you can just go ahead and book your own excursions up to $600. So that's it, Mike. So Princess, Holland America, Celebrity, Oceana, those are kind of like the four that we lean into. Princess and Holland the most because they have the most. The other thing about Princess and Holland, like when you go to Ketchikan, you actually dock in Ketchikan. I just saw some TikTok influencers or travelers complaining that they didn't know that Norwegian docks 7 miles away. Well, that's one thing that a travel advisor is going to tell you, is that, look, you're not actually going to Ketchikan with Norwegian. You're going about 7 miles away. You got to take a school bus to get up to Ketchikan, whereas Princess and Holland, they're right there. They were complaining that, look, the ships are right here. That's because Holland and Princess own Alaska. So we don't even know, like with Oceana, we may be docking 7 miles away for Ketchikan, but we're going to be there for 12 or 14 hours. So it's okay to dock further away when you're going to be there that long. But if you're only going to be there, say, 6 or 7 hours, that really cuts into your time. So yeah, reach out, Mike. Definitely reach out. Thank you, Pretty TK, for the kind words. Thank you, Kathy, for the kind words. Appreciate it. Did I miss anybody over here? No. Nicholas is looking at a cruise on the Carnival Dream at the end of December to the Bahamas. What is my thought? You know what? Why not? Sure. Dream. What class is that?
I would recommend looking at some videos from Mark and Rocky on This Cruise Life. They've been on pretty much every Carnival ship.
Yeah, big shout out to This Cruise Life. Mark and Rocky. They are Carnival fanatics. Just book with me though. Don't book with Rocky. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Rocky's a great guy. He's another travel agent. But This Cruise Life, all one word, on the YouTube channel. Mark and Rocky, they've been on every single ship. I'm not sure. Yeah, you love Mark and Rocky. They're awesome guys. And Rocky is another travel advisor. So, I mean, if you book with him, that's okay. Just book most of your stuff with me. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I can't remember which class the Dream is. I get very confused on the Carnival ship. But, you know, most of them have gone through dry dock. It's definitely a smaller ship. And maybe it's a Spirit class. I can't remember. But the way that you can tell that a Carnival ship has been recently renovated is by the blue hull. If the ship has the blue hull, that means she's at least gone in for
it's the Dream class.
Huh?
The Dream is in the Dream class.
Oh, it's a Dream class. Okay, thank you for that. So she's smaller than the Spirit class, I think. But yeah, why not? Go for it. Go check out Mark and Rocky and see if they've got some information on that particular ship. They pretty much have information on every single ship out there. You might go over and look at Tony at Lolita Loca. He's done a lot of Carnival ships. A good friend of mine, Tony Cruising, who lives over in the Tampa area. So we just got to see him during our Margaritaville inaugural joint. Oh my God, I got to have lunch with Jenny and Tony. Such nice people. So Tony may have some stuff over there, but you know, it is a smaller ship, so it's not going to have, you know, a lot of the bells and whistles of the bigger ship, but it's definitely going to have Guy's Burgers. Emerald has come up with some like 60 new dishes for the main dining room. So yeah, I would not have a problem sending you out on the Carnival Dream. I think you're going to have a good time. Megan, can you find out more on our group cruise in our link? Yes, great question. You're watching on TikTok. There are actually links to each of our group cruises directly, or you can go to our website, where'swaltertravel.com, and you can go to the link on Group Cruise. Alex, thank you so much for the kind words. But yeah, go to where'swaltertravel.com, and there is a Group Cruise link right at the top. All of our group cruises are listed there, except the one that we're going to announce soon. Stay tuned, folks. Norwegian Jewel from Philadelphia. Ooh, we got a good one that we're cooking up for you guys out of Philadelphia. It's not there yet, but it will be soon. Eric is saying Rocky is a cruise line savant. I know. Rocky and Mark have been on pretty much every single one of those Carnival cruises. And here's the thing. So we hung out with them on the Margaritaville Islander, which is a Carnival Spirit class ship. They liked what Margaritaville did with the ship even more than the Carnival Spirit class ship. They just thought it was a really fun design. By the way, the Margaritaville Islander has a non-smoking casino. So there you go.
And just to go back to the Carnival Dream, that class, the Dream class, also includes the Magic and the Breeze. Okay. And the Dream itself came out in 2008.
Oh, so she's a youngin. She's a youngin. She's not that old at all. So, and I believe she does have the blue hull now. So she just went in within the last 2 years and got her touch up. So she got the blue hull, and of course they would have made some updates to the inside. So yeah, why not? PJ, you're taking a New Year's Eve cruise out of Port Canaveral on the Carnival Freedom. Have a great time. I mean, I hope they just give up on putting the whale tail back on her, because she's already burned it off twice. She clearly doesn't want the whale tail. So have a great time. That Freedom looks like a really fun ship. David, have we been on Utopia? We have not been yet. We're talking about it. She's literally just an hour away. So we need to run over there. And now that we realize that those 4-day cruises can be the same price, sometimes cheaper than the 3-day cruise, we'll probably go on that Monday to Friday 4-day. But soon. Oh, it's bigger than the Spirit class. See, I get confused on which way they go. So the Dream is the one before the Vista class, right? So the Dream class is the one that came out before the Vista class, and then we've got the Excel class. Did I get that part right? I don't know. It's so confusing.
Just a little point of notice. If you're trying to ask a question about Virgin Voyages,
oh my gosh,
on TikTok.
We're so late into the show.
I know.
Oh my gosh, forgot about that.
But I just saw that some comments have been filtered.
Oh,
yeah, gotcha. You cannot use the word virgin on TikTok.
Yes, I'm so sorry. We always forget to mention that in the morning and when we first start off. But Virgin Voyages, if you want to ask us a question about Virgin Voyages and the lady ship, please use VV like Pretty TK just did. TikTok is going to filter the word virgin, even though Virgin Voyages is a huge channel on TikTok. Please don't use the word virgin, use VV, and then your question will come through. So sorry about that. Nicholas, you've been trying to figure out what you want for your anniversary. You've never been to the Bahamas. Oh, well, Bahamas can be a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot to do down here. Of course, if you go on Carnival, Celebration Key is coming, and it looks insane. In fact, that is my new mouse pad. I know it's backwards on TikTok, but my lovely new mouse pad, courtesy of Bentley over there at Carnival. That looks insane. And I will say one thing that Carnival did right that Royal Caribbean did not do is they have an adult area that is quiet. It's probably going to be paid, but they have an adult area that's quiet. So yes, they got the Las Vegas party pool going. That's going to be included. And then they're going to have a quiet area. I will probably pay the money to go over there. So yeah. Pretty TK, do I know if Virgin Voyages is still doing their placeholder specials for booking a future cruise while on board? Yes, so that is the My Next Virgin Voyage certificate. You do not need to book a cruise on board. You just need to get that certificate. Each sailor can buy up to 4, and that's 4 per sailor, not 4 per cabin. So if there's 2 of you in the cabin and you want more than 4, just keep in mind that there's 2 caveats with the My Next Virgin Voyage. You'll pay $300 on board the ship. That $300 goes towards your 20% deposit when you go ahead and convert it to a cruise. You will also get $300 off the cost of the cruise. If you book that next cruise within 60 days of leaving the ship or 60 days of buying the certificate, you will get a $600 onboard credit, or sailor loot as they call it. If you book after that 60-day window, you will get $300 of onboard credit. The My Next Virgin Voyage is good for 2 years. You must book and sail within 2 years. They do give us some latitude on that back end, a couple of months, but, only buy as many as you think you might sail with, keeping in mind that you can transfer them one time to anybody. You can also transfer it to another cruise one time and maintain the benefits. So like if you've got some friends that might want to go on Virgin Voyages, you can tell them, hey, I'm going on Virgin. Would you guys like me to buy you some certificates that are going to give you $300 off and up to $600 on board credit? So you can just go ahead and purchase it for them. And then I just convert it to a real cruise later on. So
and if you book directly through Virgin and you would like to have your certificate assigned to Walter, you can do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can also have it converted to me. Thing you can do, like while you're on the ship, if you want it sent to me, you can just pretty much mention my name. They kind of know me on that ship because I'm a top 100. Most of the agents kind of know my name because I'm in the top 100. Or you can just reach out to me before you go on the cruise. I'll give you the specific information that you need to give them. You can have it converted over to me. And one of the big advantages of that is, again, you don't have to call Virgin. When you're ready to convert it to a cruise, I've got it down pat. I go in, I convert the whole thing over to the cruise, and we get it all taken care of for you without you having to call Virgin Voyages. That's kind of nice. Michelle, do I know if Royal Caribbean would let you store meds that must stay cold in the infirmary? So typically, that's a really, really good question, because most of you know that most cruise cabins are going to have a small refrigerator in the room. That's really a chill box. It's not designed to maintain a certain temperature. It's just there to keep your drinks cooler. Whereas medication, they must stay at a certain temperature. There are two options with that. Some cruise lines will allow you to request a refrigerator to come into your room that will maintain temperature. So they'll pull that chill box out and they'll put that refrigerator in. Sometimes there's a cost for that. The other option would be to put it into the infirmary, but you must fill out a special needs form and make that request. I have that going on right now. I have a guest who is on Holland America, and Holland America said, no, we don't bring the refrigerators in your room anymore. They must store them in the infirmary. I had to fill out a special needs form so that they knew they were coming on the ship and they knew they were bringing the medication with them. And what they were instructed to do was, as soon as they got on the ship, go to the infirmary, meet up with the doctors and the nurses, and then make the arrangement. So they have to go to the infirmary when they need those medications. Now, while the infirmary is open, there is no charge. But if they require to go down at an off time, there is going to be a charge every single time you go down to the infirmary. Now, that's how it was on Holland America. How Royal Caribbean handles it, I'm not exactly sure. I've not had that situation come up with a client. But I would, wow, those are expensive medications. Yeah, you definitely want to take care of that. So if you're working with a travel advisor, like one of my many colleagues out there, they can go ahead and get in touch with Royal Caribbean for you and pose that question. That's a question that I would probably pop over to Kelly just to get the straight answer. But there's usually a form to fill out. And
there is definitely going to be a way, whether it's in your own cabin or in the yes. There will be a way for you to keep those medications at the appropriate temperature.
But get it set up before you get on. Do not go walking onto the ship with thousands of other people and go, hey, I've got these medications. What do I do? You need to have that all set up.
No, and I would do that as soon as possible.
Yes, and they have to know that you're coming on board. They have to know that you're coming on board with that. Great question from Eric. Do cruise lines and foreign hospitals accept travel insurance as payment or only reimbursed? To my knowledge, and I am not a travel insurance expert, to my knowledge is a reimburse, to my knowledge. Now, there may be certain medical plans that cover you around the world, but to my knowledge, it's going to be a pay and reimburse. That is not global. That is not universal.
For travel insurance, generally, yes, it is.
Yeah. So what you have to do is contact that travel insurance supplier and pose that question and go, how does this work? Although a lot of times that is clearly explained. Now, like Allianz Global has a 40-page book with all of the terms and conditions. It's probably in there. It probably tells you exactly how it's going to work if you're in another hospital. I recently had, so this is a scary story, but one that had ultimately a happy ending. The crew on Valiant Lady literally saved the life of one of my clients. Literally saved the life of one of my clients. So he's confined to a wheelchair. Excuse me. He is confined to a wheelchair. and he has a feeding tube. And apparently he had a new feeding tube installed shortly before they went on the Valiant Lady. Unbeknownst to them, it was a little bit too short. So when he was eating, the food was actually like going up into his lungs. Liquid was going up into his lungs and essentially suffocating him to the point where he could not breathe. And they rushed him down to the infirmary on the Valiant Lady. They literally saved his life in the infirmary. They were able to get him breathing well enough. The ship made a diversion over to Cozumel. He ended up in Cozumel for about 2 weeks or so. And I believe whatever medical coverage he had, because he was talking to me about it, almost sounded like that medical coverage was going to work at whatever hospital they were at. Now, that was his circumstance, his travel insurance. We did not do anything. That was his own travel insurance.
It may have also been his medical insurance.
Yeah.
Because there are certain, not a lot, particularly in the U.S.,
yeah,
but there are some policies that will cover you when you leave the country. Correct. I would say probably about 70-80% of them will not.
Correct.
But there are some.
There are some. So
particularly if you work for the government, quite often a lot of those policies will often, not always, but often cover you overseas.
So on the YouTube side, hello, Melbourne. How are you? You're sad that you lost the Scarlet Lady from home porting here over the summer season. Australia lost a lot of ships for 2024, 2025. You are right. A lot of companies did pull out of Australia. I don't know the exact circumstances and why they came out of Australia. But I do know that you've got some really good ships down there, especially on the luxury lines. Like Azamara has just ridiculous cruises down there in Australia. Carnival is taking over the P&O brand, but those ships are going to stay there. To my knowledge, Princess is coming back. I think Celebrity's coming back. So you've got some good options down there. Like I said, Azamara is going to be there. I think Oceania is going to be there. So while you may not have Virgin Voyages coming back to Australia, you still have a lot of really good cruise options down there.
And I have to say, of the major cruise lines, one of the ones I think that has some of the most interesting itineraries is actually Norwegian on their smaller ships.
Yeah.
They tend to have some really good itineraries.
Yes. And that's a very good point. So yeah, you don't have Virgin Voyages, but you've still got a lot of really good options down there. I'm sure there are some local travel agents down there that can help you find the right cruise. But yeah, don't be too disappointed that one cruise line isn't there. You've still got a lot of great options to go cruising around Australia. Thank you for the question. Really appreciate it. I think it's so cool that we can do this all over the world. Hello, Melbourne. I love that. How long are we online? Well, we've been online for 90 minutes and we'll be here for a little bit longer. Michelle, can I explain? Oh, that's a good question. Can I explain the refreshment package and coffee for Royal Caribbean? I can't not have coffee on Quantum. I'm so with you there. I am so with you with the coffee. You can ask Rebecca.
Yep.
I got to have my coffee. And so that's a really cool package. In fact, Royal Caribbean, I think, is one of the only cruise lines that has a package like that.
No, it is not.
That has the coffee in it?
Yeah, there's others.
Only refreshments and coffee?
Yeah.
Because Norwegian doesn't.
No, but I think Princess does.
But that's also alcohol.
No, they have.
Oh, that's true. They do. So.
And I think there are a few other lines, but at any rate.
All right. So let's go back to Royal Caribbean then. Just pretend I never said anything else. Royal Caribbean, the refreshment package is actually the one that we will get if we're going to get a package. That is basically everything except the alcohol. So you got mocktails, you got soda, you got specialty coffees, and that is plus or like around $30 a day versus up to $100 a day for the other. Now, the thing about the specialty coffee, you cannot go to a Starbucks branded store. You're going to see a Starbucks branded store on most of the ships these days. You can't go there. But you can go to the Promenade Cafe or Cafe Promenade. If you're on the Icon, you can go to the Pearl Cafe. And you can go to usually the Spa Cafe. They have the same Starbucks coffee. They make most of the same Starbucks drinks, but they're included in your package. You just can't go to the actual Starbucks store because that is owned and operated by Starbucks. So if you have a Starbucks card, you can use that over there. But in terms of that refreshment package, one of the best things and the reason why we usually get it is that freestyle coffee or freestyle Coke thing with the glass, because they have those flavored waters and flavored seltzer waters that are so great in there. Love those. But yeah, so if you get the refreshment package or actually any drinks package, I think there might be like an ultimate level that includes Starbucks, but the primary drinks package and the refreshment package cover specialty coffees in non-Starbucks stores. That's really the way to look at it.
And I will say one thing to realize is, particularly if you haven't been on Royal Caribbean in a while, it used to be, because there's a special cup you have to use for the freestyle machines. They used to have them in your cabins. Nowadays, more often than not, you're going to have to go to a bar. You show them your card with the package, and they will give you your cup.
Yeah.
But you have to use that cup because there's a RFID chip in it that enables the machine to work.
Exactly. Mary Massey is saying that there were some increases in port taxes in Australia that might have been part of the decision. That would probably be a big part of the decision for sure, because they would have had to raise their fees and all that. Eric is saying that Norwegian has a Starbucks package and it's included on the Premium Plus. That's the same as Royal Caribbean. If you go up to the Plus package or whatever the top level package is of the drinks, then Starbucks is included. So yeah, but the regular Norwegian Free at Sea, the ultimate beverage package or whatever they call it over there, does not include the coffee package too. So, oh, my pleasure, Michelle. I appreciate it. I appreciate the kind words. So yeah, it's 12 noon here on the East Coast. We've been going for 90 minutes. So I know I got some meetings this afternoon. But before I go, I want to run through our group cruises again, because we would love to have you come cruise with us. One of the biggest advantages to all of our group cruises is that we have really amazing rates. And I'm going to start with the Margaritaville. We invite you to come on this Valentine's group cruise. If you've got a significant other, you got some friends, you got family, come join us. It's going to be 6 nights on the Margaritaville Islander. Get your flip-flops out. It is not Jimmy Buffett, wall-to-wall Jimmy Buffett, but his influence is certainly felt throughout the ship. It will be February 11th through the 17th. We're going to be sailing out of Tampa, Florida for 6 nights, going to Key West, Progresso, and Cozumel. A vow renewal with the captain is included. Prepaid gratuities are included with our group rate. So not only is our group rate reduced from public, but we have the prepaid gratuities included in there as well. So again, February 11th to the 17th, 2025. Cabins are going very quickly for this one. We've been so excited. Everybody's excited to come on the Margaritaville Islander. So certainly reach out when you can. Yeah.
Just to clarify one thing, this is not an individual vow renewal. It's a big group vow renewal.
Yeah, it's a big group vow renewal. It's going to be a big group. We're all going to be out there. The captain, everybody else on the ship's going to be jealously looking at us going, why don't we get a vow renewal? So and typically the vow renewal it can be very pricey. So we've negotiated it's in the price. So come join us. That's the Margaritaville Islander, February 11th through the 17th, 2025. Our second group cruise is the Oceania Riviera, sailing out of Alaska. That actually sailing out of Seattle. We're going to have 12 nights in Alaska, 8 ports, up to 15 hours in port. So if you really want to see Alaska and you're not doing a land sea tour, this is going to be an amazing way to see Alaska. We have, and everything I'm telling you guys about, just go to where'swaltertravel.com or look at the links in the description. You can go to our website. We have a page for every single one of these cruises. But this is June 26th through July 8th, round trip out of Seattle, including 12 hours in Victoria. So Victoria, British Columbia is usually a token stop for ships sailing out of Seattle, just so they can say, we're satisfying the law, we're here for 2 hours, and we're going to go. No, we're going to have full 12 hours in Victoria, British Columbia, so you'll have a lot of time to go see everything that's there. So that's going to be an amazing cruise. Now, Oceania includes all of your meals, beer, wine, champagne with lunch and dinner, Wi-Fi. There's $600 in shore excursion credit, soda, and specialty coffee. All of that is included in the cruise fare already. With our group rates, we add the prepaid gratuities, and we add the drinks package upgrade so you can have a drink anytime you want, not just with meals. That's about a $2,200 value right there. So if you want to come join us, we still have a few cabins left, and they will be closing that group. We expect by September they're going to close that group out on us. So if you want to come join us, again, June 26th through July 8th, 2025 in Alaska. And then if you'd like to come with us on the all-new Norwegian Aqua, there's going to be the first Prima Plus class ship. She's going to have the Aqua slide coaster on the top. She is coming over, I believe, in March or April of 2025. We're sailing May 31st through June 7th, 2025. We have exactly 5 cabins left in our group. We've got 3 balconies and 2 interiors. The balconies are over $1,000 lower than the current published prices right now. I can't tell you the exact price, but you can reach out. And if you get the free at sea package, we add $100 of onboard credit as well. So May 31st through June 7th, Port Canaveral, Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, Tortola, Great Stirrup Key, back to Port Canaveral. So you're getting 4 port stops on a 7-night cruise in the Caribbean. That's a little bit unusual. Usually it's like 3 port stops. And this is an Eastern Caribbean cruise. So that is going to be a really nice one. We literally have 5 cabins left. So if you want to come join us on that one, that's going to be amazing. We have a mark off April of 2026. We're going to be sailing on the Norwegian Jewel out of Philadelphia. Announcement coming soon, very soon. That's going to be a really good one. I can't wait till we can announce that one. And then last but not least, I like to mention this. If you really want to go see the Northern Lights, like really go see the Northern Lights, our good friends at Hurtigruten have a 17-day Follow the Northern Lights adventure. That is booking right now, December of 24 through March of 25, expected to be in 25 and 26 as well. It's literally 17 days, fully escorted, land and sea. You're going to stay in the Igloo Hotel. You're going to go dog sledding. You're going to go to the Sami Museum. You're going to go to Santa's Village. Oh, my God, you're going to go to Santa's Village. And then Northern Lights cruise. So 17 full days. I want to say it's Iceland and Norway. Absolutely incredible journey. And they do have guaranteed Northern Lights cruises. They guarantee you will see the Northern Lights during a certain amount of time on certain cruises. If you don't, you get to go on another cruise to see them again. So if you really want to see the Northern Lights, then Hurtigruten is certainly the way to go. So, Barbara, you got a friend who's going to reach out for the Margaritaville group cruise. I'm telling you, folks, please do not wait too long. It is selling so much faster than we expected it to. We knew people were going to be interested in the Islander. We didn't realize you were going to be this interested in the Islander. People are really excited about this, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy for the brand because they were rightfully maligned for the Paradise. That was just not a good launch. That was just not a good launch. They know it was not a good launch, and this is now truly Margaritaville at sea. It is truly. You want that Margaritaville vibe. You want that Margaritaville experience. This is it. And this is only the first of a whole planned fleet of ships. I am looking forward to them announcing their next ship. I know they've been looking at some, and hopefully they will be announcing those sooner than later. But they've been setting sales records, rightfully so, because this is a totally new experience. It's a really fun experience. So, and again, this coming Thursday night, I'm going to have Whitney from Holland America joining me. We're going to be talking about Alaska. We're going to be talking about those cruise tours. They may have some new things to talk about as well. The other thing about Holland America, they are pretty much the only cruise line I know that does some of these extended voyages where you can go to, say, South America and back. You can go to Australia and back. You can go to Europe and back. Round trip from the United States. You don't have to fly anywhere. Round trip from Florida, round trip from New York, round trip from Boston, round trip from San Diego. You can go all the way to Australia and back from San Diego. How cool is that? So Holland America, we got a lot of really cool things to talk about. This coming Thursday night, we will be on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We won't be on TikTok because technically it's just a lot more difficult to do. But hey, thank you, mental health worker. Oh yeah, we really can't wait to talk to you as well. So thank you all for joining us. Really do appreciate y'all hanging out here with us on a Sunday morning. If we can do anything to help you with your travels, land, sea, air, expedition, luxury, whatever we can do to help you out, just reach out. where'swaltertravel.com. Links everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, links on TikTok. So everybody have an amazing day. And we'll see you guys very, very soon. Tune in next Thursday night to see Holland America, and then come back here next Sunday morning. Have a great day wherever you guys are. Thank you.